Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad and we're going to go through 5 pillars of income. At least 5 pillars for me. This is for entertainment purposes only. If you have questions, please seek your financial professional that's going to charge you thousands of dollars to give you something. Without any further ado, let's jump into it. My 5 pillars exist in a very simple format. I want some covered calls. I want something called alternative. I want some business development companies. I want some preferred stocks. And I'm going to take a closed-end fund invested in either CLOs, loans, or some other alternative loaning financial instruments. Now, I will be covering these more in depth in the near future. But for now, let's just talk about the 5 pillars and what you can expect to get from the 5 pillars. I did a simple 5-pillar portfolio with $100,000. This gives you just over $1,000 a month in income. Now, how much of that income you take is a personal preference. I do not take 100% of that income, but this is the theoretical income that you will receive that month. How much of it you take is your personal decision and your education and your financial advisor that's going to charge you thousands of dollars to figure that out for you. I just keep on saying that, people. Let's get real. I'm just going to call it as it is. It's a great portfolio. You just can't live off of all of it. And all the financial legal stuff, it's just because you don't want to sue me because I'm actually a nice guy. Moving on. If I had a $250,000 portfolio, again, taking something very similar, you'd have $2,556.66. $30,000 more or less a year to live on. Now, this is not including Social Security, and your personal financial advice needs to come from a legal professional. Just saying. Don't sue me. But I have all these funds in my personal portfolio that I have shared at the beginning of the month. Link over here someplace. If I had a $500,000 portfolio, you get just over $5,100 a month. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Now you're getting up to what somebody normally would make at a job, excluding Social Security and any other income sources that you might have, including pensions. I have to laugh. Who has a pension? I don't. But my wife will soon be getting her little bitsy tiny wee little pension from being a teacher. But that's our personal finance, and there is no way for me to know your personal finance. So I can't answer those questions. But you can look at this as an example of what is physically possible. If I add a little more risk to my portfolio by putting in AIPI, and I spread it equally among the funds. So SPYI, QQQI, AIPI, equal weighted, which is a little more risky. I'm at $1,100 per month for $100,000. If I take that same portfolio and I put $250,000 in it, we're now up to $2,848.33. Again, I wouldn't live on 100% of that. I'd be reinvesting some of it back in, maybe a little diversification. But hey, not financial advice. If I had $500,000 and did the same type of portfolio, I'm at $5,696 a month. Again, assuming market stays the same, percentages stay the same, blah, 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 and no past equals future, right? Because I hope by now, watching YouTube, you know that's just ridiculous, because even financial advisors will put that on the bottom of the paper after you pay them thousands of dollars to show you a very similar plan and not get anything guaranteed because they work for a financial firm that sends them to a school that you have to go to and have 4,000 hours of actual practical experience doing it, which you can all get free on other resources. Not financial advice or educational advice, but if you use Seeking Alpha and you follow somebody like Stephen, maybe myself, Stephen from the Income Factory, link to his book below, maybe you would start seeing the light that some of this is not rocket science and you can generate income for life. Just saying. Again, you know the speech. Not going to repeat it. Hopefully I'm getting a little bit funnier. No, my wife tells me I'm not funny. So we're just going to go ahead and move on. If I put into my simple portfolio, very simple, 5 pillars, 6 funds. And I do 6 funds because, you know, SPY and the Qs, you take your pick, right? I like to have a little bit of SPY, I like to have a little bit of Qs. Great. I'm at $10,226.66. $122,000 a year. You know the speech. I wouldn't take all of it. That's just me. But this is what the possibilities are. Now, if I took a little more risk, equally weighted, QQQI, SPYI, and AIPI. And I am not endorsing any particular fund. I am just picking the funds that maybe I have done reviews on, that I personally hold in my portfolio, and somebody accused me of swing trading these funds. Okay. No, that's clearly in retirement not what I'm doing. Crazy that somebody would think that I would swing trade. Now, other people may, and that is just fine. I invest for income. This is what I have. But anyway, 11,393, thereabouts. That is a hefty salary for anybody. Now, you need to go find a tax attorney to figure out how you're not going to pay taxes on this. And, you know, start up that little business in, I don't know, Panama, and create an LLC down in Panama and bring back all the money at no cost because it's going to be on foreign banks, and you're going to fly down every couple of years and bring the money back in a little duffel sack and not get caught coming across the border. Again, totally entertainment. I did not give you any ideas, or you move to the Cayman Islands and never mind. Just other ideas that personally have come across my mind. And didn't some actors actually get caught doing exactly that? The girl from Harry Potter got caught doing something like that. But I think, if my memory serves me right, it does. Hopefully that was a little bit of entertainment for you today. But in all seriousness, I do hold these funds, and I'm going to share one more for you. So I show a business development company, and it's paying 9.8%. And you should have something in portfolio of that type. Now, percentages, how much you have in each one, that's a personal preference. I just broke it out evenly because Excel makes it easy for me to do it that way. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just saying that maybe you want these 5 pillars. Now, there's also a pillar called REITs and MREITs. I personally do not hold them. Kinda do a little bit, but I'm looking more into those. So maybe my 5 pillars will one day be 6. But for now, I do hold one real estate one, but not enough to put it on what I'm going to call a pillar. And if you watched any of my other videos, you know I hold multiple business development companies and different alternatives. I do only have the one preferred stock, and that is because I am not a preferred stock picker. I'm going to hire a professional to do that for me. Why spend my retirement picking preferred stocks, and there's other preferred stocks out there, or other ETFs, mutual funds, something that you might want to do some research on, or put a link below and I'll add it to my book of, right now I think my last count is 150 different ETFs to go look at, and we'll figure it out. Now also, a closed-end fund that I'm personally interested in as an alternative is BCAT, not ECAT, because I came from the corporate world and I do not believe in ESG. But that's a personal opinion, and you can invest how you like, because I am not giving advice. I am only sitting here on the internet telling you what's in my portfolio. And I will say that I took a couple shares of BCAT here recently just because it's something that I was interested in and I want to see and trace it over a few months before I get a larger position in it, because I don't want to jump in with both feet very quickly, very fast. I have in the past. I didn't get burnt, but I want to watch it for a little while. There's another one that I'm very interested in, done some research on, and those videos will be coming out shortly. But let's talk about alternatives to business development companies, because somebody's going to say, how about this business development company? And I own this one, and you didn't cover that one, and there's one over here, and yeah, so I invest in a basket. So PBDC owns all the ones listed on the sheet that I'm just about ready to show you. This sheet shows you the different ones, and these are their top holdings. And I'm going to say I own 2 of them, that you can own any one of these and mix and match at your pleasure. Hopefully I get time in the near future to cover a little more of these. These are handpicked by a professional, and these are his top weighted business development companies. And I'm going to lean on somebody that has a little more experience in picking business development companies than Brad. But I also like diversification, and that's why I hold PBDC, because they own all those plus several more, giving me a lot more diversification and still a pretty nice yield compared to putting everything in the Blue Owl and hoping for the best. Although there's nothing wrong with Blue Owl. But not financial advice, 100% educational, and I hope you truly enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Until next time, God bless. And if you watch any of my other, before I get a larger position, because somebody's going to say, how about this business